And that was the thing because the first couple years I kept saying, "I'm not a salesperson. I don't know." I freeze up when we talk about price. But when I pulled Baldi at that convention, I was like, it was like I didn't have to really sell. This what you paying. This what I could offer you, and this is what I could give you in rebates. So it wasn't like, well, we could do. It was just like they say, people lie, numbers don't lie. So that's my motto now. I just need to see your numbers and let me put it together in a spreadsheet and show you the difference and let me know where you want to sign.
Exactly. Exactly. As easy as that. Welcome to the Service Bureau Accelerator podcast, where we help tax professionals start and scale a successful service bureau.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Service Bureau Accelerator interview series. I am here with Ross and Kimberlee Collins Walker. Ross, if you want to go ahead and kick it off.
For sure. Kimberlee, welcome. Welcome to the call. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
Very good. Very good. Thanks. So, Kimberlee, if you want to kick it off, for everyone who's watching, maybe just share a quick little about yourself. Introduce yourself. Let us know how long you've been in the industry and what ultimately led you to becoming a service bureau.
So I'm Kimberlee Collins Walker. I'm located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and I've been in the industry since 2006. I am an accountant, and so I dabbled in taxes during my undergrad years and fell in love with it. And then I met you guys a couple of years later, and then I got a call about SBA, and I was like, "Oh, what's SBA?" I've heard about service bureaus, but I didn't know exactly. It was like a hidden society. And then I was like, "Wait, you mean I can make money without actually dealing with the stress of everybody taxes?" So that's what made me join.
Awesome. Awesome. And so where were you at like prior to joining Service Bureau Accelerator? Where were you kind of at with your business? Were you just kind of still running your shop? Because I believe like we worked with you with like ESM way back in the day as well, right? So
Yes.
we've been working together for a little while. Yeah.
Yes. So I had my tax office and I was just running it. I was just the go-to person known as the tax doctor. And I just handled taxes and I never knew about scaling where I can eventually remove myself. But it always been in my mind of what will be my exit strategy,
Yeah.
where I can just oversee the preparers or either just move to something else, but still keep that office it's running its own machine.
So that was kind of the game plan for a while, right? To be able to like step back. And I guess is that kind of ultimately why like being a service bureau was kind of the perfect fit, right? Because you're like, oh, okay, now I can not only, generate more fees, but I can also see another method where I can help other offices grow and like provide them software. What was kind of the overall mindset there as well with the shift towards a service bureau?
Yes, I knew I wanted an exit strategy, but I didn't know what it looked like. I know I didn't want to do something totally different. I knew I wanted to still be in the accounting and tax field. So learning about the software and service bureau was like, oh, this is a no-brainer. Like I don't have to reinvent the wheel. Like I already know taxes. I know the law. All I gotta do is sell you software and help you set your office up. And it's nothing that I have to go study, nothing because I've been doing it for over 18 years. It was a no-brainer. Like I didn't have to. It wasn't like I was going to open up a t-shirt shop.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally different business, different industry. It's like, yeah. Yeah. I think that's a common thing too, right? I mean, even for us, like that's why it was such an easy shift for us as well. Cause like we're already working in the tax industry. We already, know the industry inside out. And it's just like, okay, service bureau just makes sense. So it's the right approach. Awesome. So what's been your strategy like up to now, joining being in the Service Bureau Accelerator for a while now. What's been your strategy to grow your service bureau? Like especially like last year to this year, there was a much larger jump than what you've had historically in your volume. What's kind of been your approach? What's been your strategy to kind of grow the service bureau?
Um, uh, when I joined SBA, I was again bottlenecking myself, trying to reinvent the wheel and like, oh, well, let me offer these classes, which you can. But I knew where my exit was. Let me just do something that's just easy or simple. And so last year I just was like, let me just talk to EROs. My first year I was developing PTIN. training them, and it was just like, okay, the return on that investment is gonna take a while, but I need something right now along with that. So I was like, well, let me just try to go talk to EROs who's already in it, kind of just figuring their way through it, or the ones that got it but just want to make more money on the back end. And so that was just, of course, with the training, that's what that kept hitting my head. Just sell a software.
Wait, I recall an interesting story. So not this past convention, the year before, well, after the fee breakdown training, remember we did the fee breakdown training? It was some dinner or something. I think it was you, Kimberlee. You pulled me over. You're like, I have this in my, you're giving me all the numbers from somebody that messaged you from like the fast action strategy. And we did the math on your notebook right at the dinner.
Yeah,
I
we
think that
did.
was you. I'm pretty sure that was you.
That was me because we did the fast action strategy, and my thing was she was with TS, the other people. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, how can I bring her over? And you was like, and she was like, you was like, get the bank sheet. And I was like, I got it. And you was like, nope, do this, do this, do this, make sure it makes sense to you. And I was like, oh, it does. And once I showed her, she was like, wait, I could get that back. I'm like, yes. And that's what made me realize, you know what, going the ERO route is much better, because guess what, I ain't have to host no class for her. She already knew what she was doing. Her office was set up. She had a brick and mortar. She just needed software where she could get money back. And instead of paying 1,800, she got the 1,800 plus more back in her pocket. So that was a no-brainer. And I was so happy to sign her up again. She was excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting because I remember it very clearly because you just like grabbed my arm, like
Yeah, I'm like, help
Baldy,
me
get over here.
seal.
it was at one of the dinners. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I was like, help me seal this deal, because I'm a little nervous and I'm confused on how I can make this work for both of us.
Yeah. Well, see, and another thing too, right? Like in that scenario, and I think she had like a decent deal. Like it wasn't like a big number, but it was enough to make a difference. And what you had to become comfortable with was making less than you would maybe normally make or try to normally make, right?
Right.
Like where you're like, hey, is it okay if I make a little less here because you know that ultimately the volume will help you.
Yeah, and that's where you came in and you was like, no, said just think about it. She gonna push you to that volume tier.
Yeah, you weren't
I'm
at volunteers then. Yeah, so now
What
look, this year you
which
are.
you hit this year,
I
yeah.
had volume tiers. I just took
Yeah,
I said, you know what? I'm gonna get on the back end.
yeah,
And so I'm glad I listened.
yeah.
That's the it's always interesting like hearing that from, because we've done a handful of these interviews now as well, and just hearing people that we're doing kind of like similar start as you, right? It's like, okay, let's do the prepare stuff or like do an academy. Most of the main reason why we talk about some of that stuff in our program is that we know that there are people like already doing that need more guidance, or they want to do that and they want more guidance. But at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, the core model as a service bureau, it's like you're selling software to EROs, right? Why try to go and drag someone across the finish line, showing them getting their PTIN and EFIN and how to use bank products and how to do returns? You can do that, and there's people who do that very, very well, and they kill it, right? But the easiest way to really launch as a service bureau is like just sell the software. You got EROs who have a bad deal, who already have customers, who do bank product volume. There you go. There's your low hanging fruit. They're so easy to onboard, and most of them are getting a bad deal. So it's cool.
Right.
Cool when you see that click, right? Where you're like, this just makes sense. This is the easy way
Well,
to go.
I had flipped it. I was like, oh, let me get a
Yeah.
whole bunch of PTINs and a few EROs. I'm like, no, let me flip that around. I need more EROs and maybe like 5 PTINs I could kind of help the way it won't stress me too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe one or two or none.
Or
But
none. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. So looking at your number growth, like, do you have, I was just kind of curious about your numbers, if you're okay sharing some of that. Do you know like what that growth was from last year to this year? Because you grew by there's like over 200, 300 bank products there that you grew by. Do you know what that revenue difference looked like just year over year?
um Yeah, so my first year was 8. My second, I don't know how I've been with y'all, what, 3 years, 4 years? How long y'all I've been here since y'all started.
I think like 5 years now. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm like you're in like the first wave. So
Yeah.
so this is
Um,
year 5 now that we're rolling into, but I guess 4 seasons, 4 tax seasons.
I
but
think like
this
your
year
first season, you it was really just your office, right? And that happens. It was just like you, but you just made more money on your own stuff. Like that's usually year one for people.
but I would say this year right here, I jumped at least 50%,
Mhm.
and I was just by pulling and I think I added 2 EROs. And because I was testing the water, I was like, I hope they don't need much from me, like,
Yeah,
it
what am I getting into
yeah.
with these new customers? So revenue increased basically like 50% because that's the other thing too, right? Is that now like Baldy, like we just talked about, you now got into that volume tier. So
Mhm.
now there's even more money on the back end.
Yes. So that's been my focus now, which I had a dream about it last night. I was like, of course, people been coming to me asking me about, am I gonna host another class? I'm like, I may do it for 5 people, open up 5, but I'm really focusing on hitting those offices, especially in my local area. Like, just have a conversation. Like, hey, this me. Let me help you. Let me see where I can beat what you get now,
Yeah,
especially if you're direct.
yeah. And I was that what you just said is like that's a key thing there. It's like let me help you. Let me take a look. Let me see how I can help you. And that's another thing too. Like I was talking on the sales call last week about that, where ultimately like a lot of people I think get a little bit hesitant being a service bureau, or they're like, oh, I got to sell software. I don't know. I'm not good at selling. I don't know how to sell. It's like just have a conversation with someone and see if you can help them out. Figure out a way where if you can put money in their pocket and a little bit in yours as well, it's a win-win, right? Just help someone out.
And that was the thing because the first couple years I kept saying, I'm not a salesperson. I don't know. I freeze up when we talk about price. But when I pulled Baldy at that convention, I was like, it was like I didn't have to really sell. This what you paying. This what I could offer you. And this is what I could give you in rebates. So it wasn't like, well, we could do it was just like they say, people lie, numbers don't lie. So that's my motto now. I just need to see your numbers and let me put it together in a spreadsheet and show you the difference and let me know where you want to sign.
Exactly. Exactly. As easy as that. Well, because that's the thing, right? It's like when they're going to make like multiple times more money than the cost to like get your software. Like why wouldn't you? Right? It's
Right.
just a no-brainer. It's easy. Yeah. Awesome. So Kimberlee, going through our training, like you're kind of one of the unique scenarios where you've seen all the iterations of our program from like the very first year where you probably got in and the modules weren't even done yet, where like it's coming soon,
Yeah.
to the paths where we had pick your path, to now kind of like the revamp where it's like foundations, 7-day launch, and then core trainings. What's your experience been overall? Maybe we'll start there. Just like overall with the training that we provide in the program, what has that been like for you, and how's that kind of really helped kind of change your approach or dial in your process?
The training has been phenomenal. I would say that a lot of times when you join a program, it's kind of, okay, you with us, we're gonna tell you what to do it. Not here. We're gonna show you what to do. We're gonna give you the templates. It's damn near plug and play. Put your logo on it, put your numbers in it, and run with it. And then, of course, if you get stuck, you always got videos where you could go back and you can review. Like me, I'm every year. I don't know why, but when it's time to do bank applications, I got to go back to the video because I
Yeah. Oh
get.
yeah. That's coming up in a few weeks here.
Well, I love that we have a great community, but we also have resources. And it's not a company where you can't talk to the owners. Like you can't say, "Hey, I don't understand this. Can I jump on a call with you? I'm having this issue. I'm trying to make a sale. Can you tell me what I'm doing wrong?" A lot of times you have to figure that out on your own. But you really have like a open door policy. Let me say an open ticket policy.
There you go.
Because
There you go.
if you put a ticket in, it's gonna get fixed.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's an interesting one too that you mentioned, like the like being able to hey, I need help on this sales call. Like I'm not sure what to say. That's a I'm trying to figure out a way to explain this for like the audience, for the viewers. That is something that, and I'm not trying to like sort of brag or like prop ourselves up, but the reason why we can do that is because we actually know what the fuck we're talking about at the end of the day, right? There are a lot of other people out there. There's a lot of other programs out there where they say, oh yeah, I'll give you training on this and the other, but they don't really know what they're doing. They're still kind of figuring out themselves, right? They're still trying to figure out their own business, and then you're trying to get help on that and they don't really know how to help you. Where it's like with us, it's like, well, we've been there, we've done this for years, we know how to run calls, we know how to run webinars, we know how to run advertisements, we this is what we do in our business every day, and that's what we show you how to do. So glad, cool, you touched on that, because that's what we're
Yeah.
here to do, right? Just give you the game plan and help you execute every step of
And
the way.
it's a true blueprint. Everybody say, "Oh, I got the blueprint," No, you really have the blue from beginning of how what you need to forms you need to have in place to executing the PowerPoint and what to do after the call. So it is really, really helpful.
Awesome. Awesome. Glad to hear. And then the support, you mentioned open ticket policy, which is
That's a
that's
nice
a good
phrase.
term, a good way to say it. What's been your overall experience with support? Like again, support with us with Service Bureau Accelerator, like whenever you need assistance. Has there been any like key moments where there's been something that was like just you couldn't figure something out, or it was like it was giving you a lot of anxiety, and then you were able to reach out and get it solved? Any stories on that?
Yes, all of a sudden, out of all years I had an EFIN, I never had my EFIN compromised. I was just filing taxes one day and saw that my EFIN compromised, and I freaked out. I didn't even know. I hurry up, put a ticket in. I think it was Baldy answer. He was like, "Oh no, no, this is what you got to do." He walked me. He sent me a quick 1, 2, 3 step, and I had it taken care of. Not only in the software, but also with the banks. And then also this year, I had a ticket with I was trying to do something. I was in OLT and I was trying to do something. Oh, run my reports. I couldn't remember. I knew how to do it in the other one, but I couldn't remember how to run it in this one. And so I put a ticket in like, can you help me run? Can you give me a guidance on where I need to go to run my reports within May? I know they typically say 24 hours, but I got a response probably within a couple of hours of giving me screenshots and then sending me the links of how to run my reports. And I was like, oh, thank you. Because it's good, when somebody tells you how to do something, but you also have a reference so you'll know what to do next time. And
Yeah.
just saying, "Oh, just here go your report." Well, no, I still need you to show me so I don't bug you.
Just so you know, if you open up the support platform, there's a knowledge base section. Those articles are in our knowledge base. So literally our team, like we have those pre-done for the common stuff and stuff that's not as common. So if you ever like, oh, how do I do that again? And maybe you can't find a video for it. If you search the knowledge base, those step-by-step articles will come up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've spent a lot of time putting all those knowledge-based articles together, mainly so that people can search for it, but also more importantly for our support team to expedite responses.
Okay. See, I told you I got a response within hours, maybe minutes. I know it was up to hours.
We definitely aim for like minutes or like within an hour for the response, but obviously, sometimes we get busy and it gets a little bit longer than that. But usually same day response is like not like that's
Pretty common.
pretty common, pretty common. It's not rare for us. That's what we aim for anyways. So Kimberlee, moving into this year, right? I mean, while we're mostly through the off season anyways, we still have a handful of you know, what are we, 4 months? 4 months now, basically, till the tax season. What are you most excited about, like looking forward for this year? Like, what's been your goal? What are you looking towards, and maybe even next year into the future for your service bureau?
Getting more EROs.
Getting more. Nice. That's it. You
Um,
said it straight for, so you're like more EROs.
more EROs. More. And I know. I'm working on the ads, but
Okay.
I do want to. I feel like I should hit my local area up first. Well, I mean, also not first, also along with the ads, just so they could put a face with the company, because I know people like to do business with who they like, know, and trust. And so, hey,
You know a good way to build that up? You run fucking ads.
okay, I see it.
And even something like you brought up local a couple of times, right? You could run an ad to Louisiana. And like
Oh,
literally, and we could talk about this after the recording, so the millions watching at home don't get all our secret sauce. But you could
yeah.
just run a local ad, not a local ad, but run a state ad. We'll talk about that after.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you could definitely do something like that. I would also chip in as well. I literally just got off of a call with someone yesterday. She emailed me directly, and I'm looking at the name. I'm like, I have no clue. She's on our other, like our service bureau, Tax Check Pro, because we were doing like that little that like pilot last year. We're like running the ads and we're running the system just to showcase to you guys like this is the play, this is how it works. And I must have signed her up because she emailed me directly, like Ross, like addressing me directly. I was like, I don't know who this person is, but she was asking all these questions about like potentially reselling software. So I just called her up and I just had a conversation with her, and she's like, I am so glad I found you guys. I love you guys, blah, blah. And that came from an ad. Just again, like, the having to run local or like people that know, like, and trust you. You can run ads to people that have never heard of you ever before, have no clue who you are. And if you just have a good conversation with them, they're going to begin to know, like, and trust you, and they'll sign up. So that's the other thing as well, just to encourage you that, hey, you can get people to know, like, and trust you on a first phone call and change their business, because that was kind of her scenario. She's like, I made so much more money with you guys. It was blah, 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 blah. So again, if we're out here just solving problems, people are going to know, like, and trust you when you're helping them put more money in their pocket at the end of the day.
To piggyback off his piggyback, it's really
A lot of piggybacking on the call.
a lot of piggybacking. So that scenario, right? When you're running the ads and you're speaking to people, it's basically what you said earlier on this call. Is like you're just trying to learn how you can help them, right? And that conversation is what opens up the door. So the ad just allows you, instead of you door knocking these local people in your Baton Rouge area, this will allow you to say, instead of maybe having one conversation a week, well, how do I have a conversation a day? How do I have 3 or 4 conversations a day? And maybe you could help 1 out of 4 people. But that's what you're trying to do. And you're just trying to accelerate that.
Yeah.
More opportunities, more at bats. Yeah. More
Okay.
conversations. Yeah. Awesome. Kimberlee, we're getting towards the end of our questions, the interview call that we have with you here today. But my kind of last question that I have, and then Baldy will have a couple for you at the end. But my last question that I always like to ask is, like, if there's someone who is looking at joining Service Bureau Accelerator, maybe they're looking at a few other options, or looking at us as well. What kind of feedback or comments or words of advice or encouragement would you have for anyone looking at joining SBA?
My advice would be, SBA is the truth. There's no sugarcoating. Like, they're not selling you a dream. They're selling you the dream. That's the main thing. Y'all are transparent. Even with the trainings, like last year you did in the conference, you showed us, well, we went in and created us our own service bureau just to show you that even though we did it before, maybe a couple years ago, the theory still works now. So you're very transparent. Also, you're open. Like, at the end of the day, when I pulled Baldy to the side, I was like, hey, can you help me make this sale? Like, what am I missing? He could have said, well, look at one of the videos. Like, y'all really are down to earth.
Which we do say often, by the way, just disclaimer.
Well, yeah, you do say that, but I was right there in the middle of a sale, so it was like, okay, let me show you where you could navigate it, and that was key. You transparent. One, when you say you're gonna pay, you pay. Unlike some people, like you're really honest. You have true systems in place. And somebody asked me about SBA before, and I said, if you in this tax world, because it's real nasty, I would tell you put all your cards with SBA. You're gonna get your money, and you're gonna get the reports to match it.
Awesome. Love it. And then you gave them your referral link, right?
There you go. All right, thank you. I got one last thing for you, Kimberlee, and we'll let you go. So, if one of the millions of people watching this at home, they're like, you know what? I like Kimberlee. I want to work with Kimberlee. I want to be one of her EROs. How do they get in touch with you?
Email me, KLCollins, COLLINS 30 @gmail.com, or you could call me at 225-921-2917, or you could visit my website, extendedtaxsoftware.com. Or you could get
Perfect.
in touch with either one of these guys.
Yeah, we'll give them your info.
We'll give them your info. So you got 3 ways to contact Kimberlee. All right, Kimberlee, thank you for being here. Lovely to see you again. It's been such a long time. And we'll go ahead and wrap it up. All right, take care, everyone.